What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba, Tuesday, August the 20th. I don't know, it's kind of quiet, but suddenly we got a little bit of action, but overall the volumes are pretty light. We've had yesterday's volume on the futures was about 35% of normal, but we'll see if something shows up here. We're not afraid. If it gives us what we need, we're more than happy to trade. Right now, it doesn't look like there's much of anything. But let's see what happens here as we move on. Again, at the end of the day, we're not going to force a trade. It just doesn't make sense. You're fighting a very tough battle if you try to fight these markets. If anything, there'd be a potential buy coming in gold, but we're not close enough in volume. A potential buy in crude, not close enough in volume yet. So we'll see how it works out here. Let's actually watch these bars complete, and then we'll go take a look at our regular stuff as well. But there is not, again, it's relatively quiet. There's things going on. I don't have the answer as to why, but of course it is. The last 2 weeks of August are typically the slowest weeks in conjunction with the last week between Christmas and New Year's, because most people are on vacation. Some schools haven't started yet, so we'll see. But gold needs a little bit more action. It could get there. I mean, we are certainly in position to get there. Okay, we would need some panic selling here to turn us into buyers. Certainly it could happen. I'm not saying it won't. We're certainly getting a lot closer in gold now. Crude is still, but again, we still have a couple of minutes. So let's see if it indeed does turn out. And there goes gold. So gold is going to be a trade. I'm certain of it. So we're going to actually look early and see if we can snag on to something here. Right now, if we get a trade here in gold, the stop will be at 25.47, but we have no trade yet. Okay, it's not going to come on this bar. It'll be the next bar, so we're going to have to wait. But the stop would be 25.47 should it come, and we are trading in December gold. So right now, again, no trade yet. And now we're going to change bars, and let's see what happens. And what did crude do? Did that do anything? Crude did not give us, but we actually still have time for crude. But in the meantime, we are looking to be a buyer in gold. The stop would be now 25.44, 25.43. 25.43 would be the stop in gold here. Again, we will get a trade. The question is there going to be too much blowback for us to want to get involved in it? And that's the key here. Now you have to start measuring your risk. Okay, you've got about a $10 risk here. That's a little steeper than I'd like to take for myself. Now it's about $11 worth of risk, but certainly if we were really busy, I would have no qualms about taking this trade. And I may look at it anyways, but again, right now it's not a trade. See, this is why we wait. It's not a trade anyways yet. So now we get to wait for another minute and see if it changes. Okay. Again, it could change for the better or the worse. Again, it won't matter because we're not in. So as long as we're not in, we got nothing to worry about. Let's see what happened. Did crude turn into a trade? Crude did not turn into a trade. So it's really just gold. If we get a trade, okay, and certainly if we could name what we wanted, we'd like to see it crack down farther and give us a much lower entry. Okay, but here is an entry that, again, you have to make up your own decision here on the amount of risk. I would advise that if you don't trade all the time, and you're just practicing here, this is probably not a trade you're going to want to take with this kind of risk. If it's $10, okay, that's $1,000 on a big contract, $100 on a little one. Okay, and again, I'm not afraid to take the risk, but I trade all the time. And again, I may not even take it myself, but right now, again, there is no trade. See, again, it's still going down. We're still waiting for an entry. We don't have one yet. Okay, so until it gives me a green bar on the upside, and certainly, obviously, I'd love it to give it to us down here. Okay, it would be what I'd be looking for. Again, I don't see any dramatic reason, and I'm certainly not going to force in to a trade. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so we just have to be patient and wait for the opportunity. Right now, 25.52 or above, we'd be looking to be a buyer. And I don't think it's going to get here now. So I think we're going to be waiting for the next bar as well. And again, that's fine with us because, again, we're going to be a buyer. So let it keep going down. Okay, and hopefully we can snag close. We're never going to get the bottom, but hopefully we can get closer to a bottom. Okay, so we're on to the next. And again, this is the patience you have to exhibit while you're waiting. And let's just see what happened with crude. I don't think it got there. And no, it did not. But crude is probably going to get there on the next bar with a potential opportunity. We'll see. But again, we're still waiting for this to confirm for us to go ahead and buy. Our new stop is going to be, as it stands now, 42. Okay. So again, as the market goes down, our stop goes down with it because we're going to maintain an initial $6 away. Okay. And now the stop is 41 and it's still going down. So again, let it keep going. We're all we are is we're buyers. The question is, where are we buyers from? Okay. And that's what it comes down to. It's where and when are we going to be able to buy? And right now, it's still not giving us an opportunity with a stop at 41. Okay, and we're on to the next minute now, the next bar, and we're still waiting. Okay, that's fine. That's exactly what we're waiting. That's exactly what we want. So right now, we'd want to be a buyer probably about 25.50 or so or above. That would kind of confirm the signal, but again, it's not. We're not getting it yet, so we're still just sitting here watching. Getting closer. No, or we go down again. Okay. And that's, again, I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but this is the trade that we're looking for. This is the kind of action that we're looking for. Let me see if there's anything else going on that we're missing. There's no volume, no volume, no volume. So crude, as I did say, would probably get there, and it is. The notes are there as well as a sale. Okay, but let's first focus here. Okay. All right, so we still don't have a trade in gold. We don't have a trade in crude. Our stop in crude would be 72.53. 72.53. Okay. And our stop in gold is still at 41. And the notes stop would be 113.22. But we don't have a trade. We have no trade anywhere most likely right now in gold. Okay. And you can go for it in gold if you want. 41 stop. And put your orders in to work above to sell partial on the way up if they go back up. Okay, and crude, we're still waiting now for a potential entry in crude. You can take the 10-year if you want. You should be out of one of your gold. Okay, and now you can go to break even on the entire stop now. Okay, and not take any risk. Go to break even on the balance of what you have left. You are now guaranteed a profit. Okay, and you can take the you can sell the notes here if you want. Okay, with a 23 stop. And crude looks like it's going to be a buy here as well, which it is. Okay, so you can buy crude if you want. And your stop is 72.53. And you should be out of one of your crude now if you took it. Okay, and you can go to break even stop on the balance. Okay, and you should have a second one off in gold. Okay, So now you're in pretty good shape. Okay. All right. That was a little bit of excitement, and we're locked in on our crude. I'm now stopped out of gold and fully made about $100. Okay, and crude we're still in. So now let's take a look at the rest of the board and see what's going on. Unless there's something else I need to look at here, and the answer would be not yet. Okay, but you should be if you're in, you're maybe short the 10-year, and you should be potentially long gold. I mean crude, excuse me, and out of gold. Okay. All right. Let's just take a quick peek as we suddenly got a little bit of action here. Apple. Pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I'd looked, if it got up to about 230, I'd like to be a seller. It would be a little bit overbought, so that'd be something that I'd be looking for. Amazon, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Again, I think that 180 is the key to watch here. I don't see a lot to do overall here. Chewy, we're not trading. Coin, middle of nowhere. Got just hammered real quickly, just recently, just in the last 30 minutes or so. Really in the middle of nowhere, not much to really look at and do. Crowd, if it can pop up a little bit to 270 or so, I think it'd be worth looking at a short side. Again, these are just for short-term trades, selling some premium or whatever, however you choose to do it. But certainly it is a little bit overbought here. Meta, which we sold last week, which worked out okay. Okay, and again, that would be one to look at. Google, you're basically in the middle of nowhere, so not really. Hold on one second. What did I just do? Oh, okay. Google's in the middle of nowhere, not really a lot to do here. IWM, again, you're seeing a lot of these things that have already had their mean reversion from either overbought or oversold conditions. So not a lot to really do with those right now. Okay, and then of course Moderna, which we thought had maybe found a bottom last week, did pop up, but it is kind of stalling here around 90. Microsoft charging a little bit higher. Again, there's a lot of things because of the true lack of activity in the market and a lot of the action that's going on. There is a lot less to do. Okay, as we watch this market. Okay, hold on one second. I got to take care of something for myself. Okay, I got to take care of something for me. Okay, so right now you have crude open and the notes open, and you should have a break-even stop on crude. Okay, with some profit already locked up. Nugget, I think that it's probably a sale here. Okay, I think that that's definitely something that you'd like to look at here, because again, not because I'm bearish and not because I'm bearish gold. But again, it's extremely overbought. Okay. And I think that it peaked this morning. And you can see gold is also selling off itself, the future, which would indicate that this is probably a pretty good spot to look at, selling some spreads. And let's just see what we would sell here. Hold on. I got to look at another screen. Let's see. Nugget. Okay. So I would sell like a deep in the money call spread for this week. So let's see, I want to sell, let's say sell the 44, buy the 50, 44.50. That is a credit of 442. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make that trade. All right. All right. So there's a credit of 442. All right. And again, where are we looking at here? What else is working here? Okay. And as we look back, NVIDIA, it is also overbought. It is one I would look to sell. Again, it's not that I'm bearish. It's a strictly a numbers probability game that we're playing here. There's a higher probability that there will be some retracement. So if you're selling some premium, remember, when you sell the premium, you don't have to, it doesn't have to go your way. It just can't go against you. Okay. It can sit flat because you can collect the premium either way. So when you're trying to do this, when you're playing these high probability moves, that's what you're looking at. You can see, the NASDAQ is off, but it still needs to rally a little bit to be really overbought. Square, look at that, right to the overbought condition, selling off a little bit. So again, this is things that you want to be able to recognize when you're watching. Okay, SPY, not quite there yet. Okay, I'd wait. Again, one of the things I'm waiting for now as well is there's a lack of activity in this market. We don't have a tremendous amount of business. It's still relatively slow. Okay, so we're not getting great activity, which again, it is August, so I'm not really concerned about it, but it would be something that you would be looking for. Okay, and if you're still in crude, move your stop up a little bit. It's working just fine. Okay. And of course, the notes are working just fine as well. So again, if you're in, remember the whole game that we are playing is purely based on probability. Okay. Everything we're doing is based on pure probability. I have no opinion. I don't care what's going on. I know that we're in a recession, in my opinion. Okay. So again, it doesn't really matter. Okay. I'm playing the numbers that are here. Tesla needs a little bit more of a rally. Again, a lot of these are close that if we were really busy and this was, let's say, October and there was a little bit more action, I might take a closer look. But from a view from 30,000 feet right now, knowing that it's very quiet out here and very slow, I'm not really that anxious to get overly involved. Our win, which we watched for weeks, did come off the bottom finally. Okay. And Zoom, okay, did bounce up. It has earnings tomorrow, so I really wouldn't get involved with this, although I do believe the better than expected earnings are already being priced in, but I certainly wouldn't get overly involved with this right now. I think you're probably better off, waiting. That would be my point of view. So again, as we go back and look, again, we had some action. Look, there's another potential trade coming in gold, maybe, but it needs a lot more volume. Okay. Again, we get a couple of things. This really works best when there's more activity all the time. Okay, but you are seeing something in gold, and you are seeing that, again, Nugget's probably going down with it. Okay, which it is. Okay, and I sold the spread. I don't know if you guys did or not, but I sold the spread. Okay, there. Okay, that again, it was just simply for the fact that it should work because you should see a pullback from those conditions, which we would call extremely overbought. And again, this is nothing more than a probability trade, just like the trades we're making in the futures market right here. These are all based on probability. Big volume, big price movement, normally mean reversion. Okay, mean reversion. It's like if you're watching the Bollinger Bands. Okay, and that's what we're always looking for and focusing on, is that potential mean reversion trade. Okay, that is our style of short-term trading. Okay, that's what you're looking for on a regular basis, is the ability to benefit from short-term movement in markets, and that's what we're working on here. And again, I don't know if gold's going to get there. It's kind of got like a minute to go. I don't think so, would be my guess. I don't think crude's going to pop enough for us to be able to sell it, but certainly we are prepared and willing to do so should it happen. But since it won't happen for us today, I'll see you all back here on Thursday. Have a great week, and just be careful. There's not a lot going on. Just be careful, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.